All right, joined now by Sean Casey, the host of the Mayor's Office podcast and former Yankees hitting coach. Sean, let's start with Garrett Cole's outing today. How important was it for him after he gave up 4 home runs against the Mets in his last outing?
Well, I think it was huge for Garrett, to come out just confidence-wise, to come out and have a good outing, get 5 innings in, only give up 1 run, settle in. You knew he would, though. You knew if he, had a couple outings he didn't like, you knew he would go back to the drawing board. And today he did. 5 innings, 6 punch outs, 90 pitches. Thought it was a great outing for him and a huge confidence boost for him moving forward.
It was an interesting week for Yankees pitchers. We had a couple of them who got upset with their fielders. Carlos Rodon with rookie Ben Rice, and then Marcus Stroman lost it when Gleyber couldn't turn a double play. Is that okay in the heat of the moment, or is this something that Boone needs to keep an eye on moving forward here?
I think at the end of the day, Boone's got to, be able to police that, as far as sometimes that stuff happens, what Stroman said too, it's in the heat of the battle. You want things to happen. You want a double play turn. So you couldn't understand why guys get heated. But as a position player, you never want to get shown up because at times you feel like, when pitchers are giving it up, you're not showing them up in the field. So it's a fine line to walk. And, I think Judgy and those guys that are kind of leading that clubhouse will make sure that, it's taken care of.
Yeah, Aaron Judge definitely settled that there. Question for you here. Did you ever have a pitcher who expressed his frustrations with your fielding during your career?
I definitely remember 1 or 2 times, coming into the dugout and saying, hey, you got a problem? Something like that, feeling a little upset about, whether he hit his glove or, put his hands up or something. I no doubt 1 or 2 times that happened. And, like I said, everyone's out there doing their best, trying to get it done. No one's trying to fail out there. It's a tough game. So I always thought of it like, I'm not going to say anything to anybody because at some point it could be me.
Yeah, 162 games is definitely a long season. It probably seems like a long season right now for Carlos Rodon. He gave up 8 runs on 10 hits in just 5 hittings. A few rough starts, though, for Rodon. How concerned should Yankee fans be the fact that he's got to go back and tinker at this point in the season?
Well, he was so dominant for so long, and he's had a couple hiccups here recently. So, a little bit of a pitching slump going on. I think, go back to the drawing board. He's got great stuff. He's had great stuff most of the season. So I think it's just a matter of making a few adjustments.
All right, we'll see if he can bounce back in his next start. This week was interesting here as Aaron Boone sat Gleyber Torres during the second game of the Subway Series. He wasn't hitting or hustling in that game. It looks like the benching worked. 4 hits, including a home run against the Jays for Gleyber. Was it just a reset, or do you think the benching got his competitive juices flowing again here?
No, I think there's something to be said about when you get, maybe a little bit in trouble. You're not hustling or you're not, playing the defense the way, Boone maybe expects you to play, and your teammates. You have to be accountable for yourself and how you play the game. So I love Gleyber's response, and I love his response on the field of coming back and hitting a big home run and getting a few hits these last couple of days.
When it comes to slumping Yankees, Alex Verdugo in a bit of a slump right now. 7 for his last 42. He did get a hit today and was robbed of a home run by Kevin Kiermaier. What are you seeing from Doogie, and do you think he needs maybe to sit down for a minute here?
This game's crazy, Joe. It's just, it runs in cycles. Sometimes you're really hot, and sometimes you get really cold, and it's the ebbs and flows. But I think as a player, you want nothing more to stay in that lineup so you can figure out your troubles and get hot again. So I'm sure Verdugo wants to stay in that lineup and figure out a way to, get a couple hits and get going.
Sean, you were a 3-time All-Star with the Reds. Tell us about the All-Star experience. What's it like for a player?
It's one of the best experiences ever, Joe. I think one of the things about making the All-Star game, it's the ultimate compliment, and you're with the best players in the league, and when you're around the best players in the league, there's just something great about being a part of it. So all 3 of the All-Star games I went to, all were special to me, and all had different memories that I'll never forget.
All right, let's talk about 1999 for a second here. You replaced Mark McGwire at first base. What was that like in the moment?
I was so nervous, Joe. It was my first All-Star game. I'm 25 years old, and I'm thinking to myself, Bruce Bochy's like, "Where's Case?" And I was at the end of the dugout, so they ended up putting me in the game. And I remember I was out there at first base, and I'm thinking, please don't hit the ball to me. Please don't hit the ball to me. And B.J. Surhoff hits me a one-hot shot, first pitch, absolute missile. I ended up making the play, and that settled me in a little bit. But it was an experience. It was so much fun playing in my first All-Star game, especially there at Fenway Park in '99 with the All-Century team.
It's good to know that the ball finds you when you don't want it, even at the major league level. I don't think people realize the mutual respect sometimes and admiration that players have for each other until the Midsummer Classic. Take us back to Cal Ripken's home run and your reaction in 2001.
Oh, yeah. I remember when Cal homered. It was, such a big deal that he and Tony Gwynn were the big parts of that All-Star game. And when he homered there, I remember looking at Curt Schilling. I think I might have been mic'd up, and I said, can we cheer for him? Like, I know he's on the other team, but it's incredible that Cal Ripken's, homering right now, and we're watching it out here in Seattle. What a historic homer. And I remember Curt Schilling said, yeah, you cheered for him. So I don't think I did, but I wanted to.
I think the whole dugout wanted to cheer right along with you there. All right, let's go back to the Yankees for a second. Judge followed up May with a great June. 11 home runs, 37 RBIs. He's hitting over 400 for the month. In the pitchers meeting, the message is, don't let Judge beat you, yet he continues to rake. So the way he's locked in right now, is this like Barry Bonds circa 2001 when he hit 73 homers in your eyes?
I feel like I remember back in '01, I always felt like Bonds was on a different planet. And when I watch Judgy right now, I feel like he's on a different planet. He's seeing the ball differently. When he gets a pitch to hit, he's not missing him. And that ball he hit today to center field was absolutely torched the dead center there in Toronto. So I feel like Judgy's playing a different game right now than everybody else in the league.
31 homers, already to halfway to 62, 82 RBIs. Those are season numbers for quality MLB players. We'll see him again at the All-Star break. Sean Casey, appreciate you as always. You can check out the Mayor's Office podcast on YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe or wherever you get your podcast. We'll talk to Sean next week.